Hello guys, welcome back. Now today I thought I'd pay my respects and finally talk about the Bruins. Now, the Bruins are doing amazing, and you may be wondering, why am I wearing Edmonton gear? Well, that's because I don't have any Bruins jerseys. Well, that's because I'm looking at some. I haven't gotten them quite yet, but they're definitely up there. I'm gonna get some soon. But most importantly, I wanted to talk about the Bruins mostly because you've probably heard about it by now. Bruins are on a 16-game streak where they haven't lost in regulation. Pretty dang successful, and they've done fantastic in this stretch. And before that, I wouldn't say they were kind of iffy, but they weren't as good as they are doing now, of course. But now they're doing just brilliantly, and their record is really showing it. Let's get right into it. The Bruins are 27, 10, and 8. 3 points behind the Tampa Bay Lightning. If you said that, let's say, a couple of months ago, if the Bruins at one point, like at the halfway point, would be 3 points behind the Lightning, I would have said you're crazy, and a lot of people would have said you're crazy. But seriously, the Bruins have made a serious run here, and they played some brilliant hockey in the last couple of weeks, and they're doing fantastic. And to say they're one of the best teams in the league right now, if not like top 5, and they're really playing the best hockey that they've played in a long time. And it's really good to see because the fan base definitely deserves it. And they do have a good fan base there. And they do deserve it after the past couple of years of just iffy hockey, getting into the playoffs, but not doing much. And they definitely played probably the best hockey they have in a long time. Let's get into the stats. The Bruins compared to the league average. So let's start with the goals for, so goals scored basically, compared to the league average. So the Bruins are at least have 147 goals for. So that's a pretty good number compared to the league average, which is 137. So they were 10 above the league average, so that's really good on the offensive side. 10 above the average, that's pretty dang decent. And let's go to the goals against average. The Bruins, the league average is 137, but the Bruins are at 110, 27 below the league average. They're doing fantastic on there, and the goaltenders have really stepped up the last couple of months and really played a lot better than they did to start out, especially Rask. And the defense has really done fantastic. And the forwards, they have a good, solid defensive forward group there. They'll score lots of points on you, but they can also defend, and that's a really key part of them. Now on to the power play and the penalty kill. The power play percentage for the Bruins is 21%, which is really good compared to the league average, which is 19%. So the power play is getting a lot done, and of course they have the star power in front, so you figure it do well. On the penalty kill, the Bruins are 83% compared to the league average of 80%, so the penalty kill is doing quite good for itself, and it's doing a long ways. The power play is good, the penalty kill is good. That's going to make your team very good on either side, and that's definitely filthy. Now, shot percentage, the Bruins are at 10%, while the league average is at 9%. Again, a whole percentage above league average for something like shot percentage, that's really good. Now for the save percentage, the Bruins are at a 922 save percentage, which is really good, especially when you say the league average is a 913. The Bruins have really stepped up their goaltending game, and here's where I talk about Rask. So Rask was one of the questions in the first month, I'd say, for the NHL. Like, what is really going to happen with him? And I was one of the doubters at the beginning of the season. Like, he's just playing like crap. The Bruins are really overpaying him, but now he's playing well. He's playing a lot better, and he's really come back from that slow start. And he's at a nice 21% save percentage, which is really good, especially considering that I think he was below a 900 save percentage before like this month, or again like this past couple of months. So he's played really well in the past month or so. And Khudobin has always played well this whole season. He's been fantastic. So both goaltenders have really done their job, and it's translating to wins, and that's especially good considering the rest of the team is good as well. They're a very good offensive squad, defensive squad, and goaltending squad. But I'll segue into that. Let's go look at the goalie stats. Rask has a 921 save percentage, like I mentioned before, and the goals against average is a 2.17, which is very good. And for Khudobin, he has a 924 save percentage, while the goals against average is a 238. So the team, I'd say, isn't playing as well in front of Khudobin the past, I'd say, couple of weeks, but he's still doing his job greatly, and a 924 save percentage is really good, translating to 238 goals against average. So that means he's just facing a lot of shots, and of course he can't stop as many, because he's just facing way too many, but that just means that Rask is facing less shots and is still doing good on the save percentage, but he's facing less shots, and Khudobin has gotten more firepower, at least, thrown at him. Now, top 5 on points. Let's go with number 1 through 5. Marchand, 48 points, and that's pretty impressive considering that he's only played 37 games. He missed about like 8 games so far in the season, which is really, really impressive. He's leading the team by 4 points, and he's played less games than everybody. That's very, very impressive. And up next on number 2, we have Pasternak, 44 points, who's having a great season. He's a fantastic player at 45 games played, so he's just barely below the goals or the goal per game or the points per game marker. Bergeron, 39 points. He's played especially well this past month with 40 games played, so he's definitely done his job. And then number 4 is Danton Heinen at 31 points, 41 games played, and then number 5 is Krug with 27 points in 41 games played. Pretty impressive for the defenseman there. On the top 5, Corsi 4%, which is I like to use that as my favorite advanced stats. I mean, as if you're a long-time watcher, you know that. Number 1, Bergeron, 58%. He's done fantastic, and he always has done fantastic in Corsi in 40 games played. And for to qualify on the Corsi 4 list, you have to, I'd say, play more than half the games. Bertrand was going to be number 4, but he didn't play enough games. I think he only played like 19 games to... And he only played 19 games, so he didn't qualify there. But number 1, Bergeron, 58%. He's done great. At number 2, Grzelcyk, or Grzelcyk, I don't know how you pronounce that. It's a pretty complicated name. At 57.8%, that's really, really good. 27 games played. So whenever he's played, he's done pretty dang decent, especially in the advanced stats. At number 3, we have Marchand at 57.1%. Again, he's doing great on the Corsi 4. Whenever he decides to not play that dirty, he's a fantastic player, and he really is showing that this season. At 37 games played. Number 4, Backus at 55.6%, 28 games played. He's been injured a couple of times with the week-to-week stuff, and it's kind of nagging on him, but he's still playing pretty dang good on the ice when he is playing, though. At number 5, you have Pasternak at 54.5% in 45 games. So the advanced stats, and a lot of those guys are doing very, very well. If you just look to top to bottom on the Bruins, the advanced stats are very, very favorable. There isn't a ton of guys that are really that bad on advanced stats, but a lot of guys are very high up there, and that is very good for them. Being good on the advanced stats, of course, will correlate to a good team, and a lot of those guys are up there, and a lot of guys are really dominating Corsi. Now I want to talk about the 2 rookies on the team, Danton Heinen and, of course, Charlie McAvoy. Danton Heinen at 31 points has really been a great center for them and kind of just put Spooner on the wayside, even though Spooner has played well. Heinen has really just become a great player and a better one than Spooner. And for that center's position, he's really doing well on that. And for McAvoy, of course, he's been all over the color chalks, even though I don't think he'll win it. But I think he is the best rookie defenseman in the league right now with 25 points. He really is playing great in both ends, and he's great in almost every facet of the game. And I think he's definitely past Sergachev, as well as Sergachev not playing all that well these past couple of weeks. And I think that McAvoy has taken that and become great defensively, and he's still playing well offensively. And, of course, he is that generator. So I think that both guys are pretty underrated, and I think that McAvoy is probably the best rookie defenseman in the league. I don't think you can really argue that. And, of course, to be even 3 points behind the Tampa Bay Lightning, I just would have said you crazy a month ago. That it's just ridiculous how good of a run they've come on. And, of course, Tampa Bay Lightning are kind of being slumped, or kind of slumping at the wrong time here. And the Bruins are really taking advantage. They're almost there, and they're almost first in the Atlantic. It's pretty dang crazy. That's good for today, guys. Guys, enjoy it. Make sure to like. Guys, enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe. Ring that bell if you haven't. Tell me down below what you've seen from the Bruins if you watch their games and all that. But I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.